And one of the things that we've brought in from reading the Happy Manifesto and working with Henry, Kathy and colleagues at the Happy Limited Company is recruiting for attitude. Now, in the past, we would recruit for CV. That was the local authority way of doing things. You had to tick every box on the CV before you get through to the next stage or an interview. And if anybody didn't tick all of the boxes, all of the qualifications, at least 3 years experience, degrees that we just slung into the JD without actually thinking, is that necessary? It was just an automatic thing, and we were following processes that the council had predetermined. And looking back on it, I just wonder how much talent we screened out at that stage, and I suspect an awful lot. Now we focus much more on the attitudes that people are presenting, both in their CVs and the way they present, in their interviews. We don't just interview, people have to do practical processes and to demonstrate that they can do the job. And we bring them in on a probationary period because if we've made a mistake or they've made a mistake, because they could decide, I've joined the wrong organisation, we can have an amicable separation if it's not right for either party. So recruiting for attitude has meant we've brought some people into the organisation who've been absolute diamonds for us and have performed extraordinarily well, even though they haven't got every bit of the jigsaw at the point when they joined us. What they have got is dynamism, enthusiasm, and motivation. And they're a joy to work with. I mean, I really like working with people like that who are keen to learn, even if you've got to spend a bit more time with them in the first instance. But they want to learn, and they are highly motivated. But it's recruiting for attitude has changed. But what the attitudes are we looking for? We decided not to just predetermine those attitudes in the management team. We got our own staff to decide what attitudes and what motivations are we looking for. We got them together in a conference and we asked them 2 questions. What do you expect of yourself when you come into work? And what do you expect of your colleagues? And that's generated a fascinating, heated, huge, argumentative cacophony of input from colleagues as they got to grips with the idea. And they came up with about 48 different things, and we had to narrow it down to around about 7, 8? 8 it was, wasn't it? 8. Attributes and motivations that they determined, the staff, that they want to see in all colleagues, both coming into the organisation and those present in the organisation. And it was a revelation. And we now use that for our performance appraisal system and our performance. And because the staff had designed it, there's much more buy-in. But we could never have done that in a local authority. The idea that a section of a local authority can design its own performance system using its staff, well, forget it. It's just not going to happen.